I see this mistake so many times. And people don't recognize it as a mistake because they just see all these people doing it and then they compare themselves in this
Yeah.
negative way where it's like that quote that says, comparison is the thief of all joy. It's so true unless you flip it on its head and you're like, holy crap, I'm so happy for that person. And it's more living proof that I can do the exact same thing. And so that's what I try to
Mm.
tell my students is like if you think there's not enough space for you, if you think it's oversaturated, just literally look all around you. There's literally proof everywhere you look. Even walking down whatever city you live in, go look at all these businesses. All of them need to be on social media.
Welcome to the Creator Money Show, where I teach creators how to build profitable businesses and lasting wealth. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, so excited for my podcast today with Megan Collier. Megan, welcome to the show.
Hi, Abby. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to talk. I actually saw you speak at UGC Creator Connect back in March, and you got up on that stage and you talked about something I never thought I'd hear someone talking about, which is how to get like Gen X boomers, into content creation. And I just loved everything you had to say. So let's start there with like maybe even before you got into that niche of helping, boomers and Gen X, but like how did you get into content creation? What was your journey of why did you decide to start creating content for brands?
Yeah, for sure. So I was working, like a 9 to 5. This
Okay.
was summer of 2022. And it was a fine job. I wasn't like making a ton of money. I was searching
What
for
were you
other
doing?
things. What was that?
Yeah, what were you doing in the 9 to
I
5?
oh, so I was doing kind of social media stuff for a prosthetics and orthotics company. So kind of
Cool.
random. But they were based out of Boise where we lived for just a blip of time. And yeah, I just kind of fell into it because we were having our first baby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I should probably get a regular job because I'd been like freelancing, doing stuff on the side. And so I got that job, but I was just kind of, being pulled to something else. And
Okay.
so, like
Have
most
you always
people,
done like marketing, social media strategy type stuff, or was that
I
something completely different even?
I had for like the last few years before that, just like most, I had like bought courses about like, oh, I like had the Facebook ad agency in Seattle for
Okay.
like a tiny bit of time. I was copywriter for a little bit of time. I just did random things. I tried so many things, but always kind of like freelance type of stuff and yeah, just nothing like super solid. But I had enough social media experience for them to hire me. So I then one day, like summer of 2022, I was scrolling TikTok mindlessly, like most of us do, and I ran across this video talking about UGC, and I was like, "What the heck?" I literally had never heard of it, and at the time, not that many people were talking about it and doing it, but it made total sense to me. I just thought that brands were hiring only influencers, didn't really know about what this UGC thing was, but it made sense. It clicked. And after a few of those same kind of videos, I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And I'm like a big starter. I don't tend to finish
Okay.
things, but I'm a big starter. But something about this, and maybe also being a new mom, I'm like, this has to work. Like this has to
Okay.
work. It can't be one of those
Yeah.
things I start and then stop and fail or whatever. So yeah, I
The
started. I
pressure was on. Like I gotta provide for this child, right? Like I
100%.
gotta
There's
Okay.
something that clicks when you become a parent, I think. So that really was a huge driving force for me. So I started, I just kind of watched what other people were doing on TikTok. A lot of people were sharing their journey, like what they were doing. I was like, okay, great. I guess I need to make a portfolio. So I made a portfolio on Canva. It was not pretty. It was kind of ugly. And I threw it up there and I just figured, okay, now I need to get some deals. And so I started just going crazy, emailing brands, DMing brands on Instagram. On like day 10, I landed my first deal. And I'm like,
Wow.
dang, okay, this is a real thing. It's legit. So it was for this app company. They paid me 750 bucks, I think it was, for 5 videos.
Wow.
Took
For
me a
your
couple
first
hours.
one.
First one. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
dang, that's amazing. So I was convinced. And I'm like, I'll just keep doing it. So I did.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
love that. I love that. So I already kind of dropped the bomb. Like now you're kind of really focused on helping boomers and Gen Xers get into it. So talk about that pivot. Like, and do you still do brand stuff for yourself and you're doing, this kind of coaching program on the side? Get us familiar with, yeah, bring us up to speed where you are today.
for sure. So yeah, so after like 14 months of doing UGC on the side, I quit my job. I was making six figures, like a
Okay.
corporate, like Seattle company, and quit my job with just UGC deals. Several months after that, I was doing like a little bit of teaching, but not much. But I happened to pitch to this company, um, a footwear company that I was like wearing their shoes. Loved them. I pitched them. I think I had done like a gifted collab maybe with them a year before. And I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to them again. And I got on a call and it was like four people on their marketing team. And so I'm talking with them. I'm trying to convince them to hire me, to pay me money, not do gifted collab. And
You're like, I
because
need
that's where it was
money
going.
to buy food. I
Yes,
can't just have free stuff anymore.
literally, I got all the shoes I need. I don't need free shoes. So it was, it was a great call, and it was working. So they're gonna hire me for 3 videos, and then at the end, like toward the end of the call, I happen to mention that my mom, who's in her 60s, I'm like, yeah, my mom is the one that told me about you guys. Like, just so you know, she loves your shoes. I love your shoes. They've been game changers for us. They're like, oh, and like four people on the marketing team, like the energy shifted, and one of them spoke up, and they were like, "Oh, do you think your mom could maybe be in one of the videos that you do for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, obviously. My mom loves me." And so I knew she'd be down. And so,
So wait,
um,
can we pause there? Like you really
yeah,
did know because I'm like, I feel like if I asked my mom to do it, she would be like, "No way am I doing that with you." So did you really feel like do you feel like my mom would do it because she loves me, or do you feel like no, my mom would really be down with this?
both, both.
Both.
I think
Okay,
that I
good.
was like, yeah, my mom would totally I just knew she would. She's just that kind of personality.
I
If
love
I need
that.
help with something, she's like, "Let's do it." And so they said that would be great because our demographic, like our target audience is more people around your mom's age, like 50, 60-year-olds, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Did not, I thought zero things about it. And so I text my mom after, I'm like, hey, can you do this with me? She's like, yeah, of course. And so we do it. I go to her house, take my iPhone and a tripod. We film this video. It's like 45 or 60 seconds long. So fun. And just like they just loved it. They ran it as an ad for like a literally just got the stat. It's made them like 1.3 or 1.4 million
Oh
dollars worth
my
of shoe
gosh.
sales. Yeah. And we worked with them several times since then. They're the best. I love them so much. And yeah, after that, like a few months after that, I started thinking like, what the heck? Why do I not see any? I follow all the UGC creators on TikTok. Why do I not see anybody around my mom's age doing UGC? And so I made this video one night. I think it was like at 10 at night or something. And I
Uh-huh.
made this video. I'm like, hey, if you're 45 and over, or into your 60s, even 70s, like brands want to work with you guys because it's not all 20 and 30 something year olds that they're looking for. They want to work with you guys,
Yeah.
just so you know. It went viral, and I had literally thousands of comments from people saying, what the heck? I thought I was too old. And I thought I needed followers, but really, I really thought I was too old. And I'm like, no, you're not too old. You can do this, of course. And so I
So did you
basically
have like more brands telling you wanted older creators, or was it just this one brand that you're like, I'm sure there's others. Like I understand their philosophy, like their market is 60 plus. So like were you just
yeah.
kind of going off a hunch that you knew it would evolve into actual deals?
I started doing a little bit of like research on it because I guess I just had never thought of it before, right? And
Mhm.
I can't remember what gave me that light bulb to even talk about it, but I think I was watching the video again that my mom and I did, and then just being inundated, on the in the TikTok world and like
Yep.
just following so many people, it all collided together to just have this light bulb moment. And obviously, like I'm looking for deals, right? I'm looking for UGC deals, and every now and then I was coming across, very rarely back in whenever this was, 2.5 years ago, did I see brands looking for up to like my mom's age, but I knew that it made sense. Like, it just
Yeah.
made sense, like, whatever, like, menopausal supplements, it doesn't make sense for like, me to talk about it, right?
Viagra for a 20-year-old. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly, exactly. So, light bulb moments all over the place, and then, yeah, I did that video, and then I have not shut up about it since. So that's my story.
So how long ago was that video?
2 years ago, 2.5 years ago
Okay,
or
2
something.
years ago. So yeah, you really have
Mhm.
been focused on this for 2 years,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
are you following, like, how are you evolving and changing the business? Like, are you, because you have so much interest, just kind of following the needs of, "Hey, this person said they need that, and this person says they need this," or talk to me more about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just like I have become obsessed with um well, this demographic. I'm very obsessed with Gen X and boomers, but just really, really, truly obsessed with empowering and educating them, because I think that so often, and I see this because I've taught thousands of people, but had conversations with people that have been working in the typical corporate setting, and a lot of my students have gotten laid off or have been preparing for a layoff, or they're afraid of a layoff, or they've just experienced ageism in the workplace where their age is like this negative factor. And I'm like, how beautiful is it that they can like have that, which is unfortunate, but then come into the content creation space and their age be this fantastic, beautiful thing. And so it's really just become my massive passion and obsession to teach them, and see how it's changed so many lives. It's pretty addicting, actually.
Yeah, no.
So it's been great.
Well, I loved what you said at the conference was I think you did a really good job of making your speech appeal to someone that was 20, but also someone that was 60, that like who you are, your unique personality, like whatever you bring to the table, your style, your pizzazz, like whoever you are, like that's you. That's your brand, and like lean into that. And if you're 60 or, 45 plus, right? Like lean into that and embrace it and use it as a motivating factor, right? Or something to advertise. Like, I am 60 and I am proud to be 60. And like, I have a wealth of experience of my life to talk about. And I just thought it was so uniquely put together. And I loved, like, it was empowering and motivating, just like you're saying today. Like, it can be, your age can be such a negative thing. And how in this context, let's use it as a positive thing. So I love that. Like, thank you for sharing that positivity, because I think that's especially so needed. My parents and my in-laws have recently retired,
Mhm.
and it's been interesting, like, watching them go through this retirement of like, who am I now, and trying to redefine themselves. I'm sure that's a lot of people maybe that come to you. Maybe it's just
So many.
not that they got laid off or anything, but they're just like, I'm in my next chapter, which is, I'm like reading your hat, your next chapter, right?
Yes. It really
and
it's oh my gosh, exactly right. So many people have found, well, they come before they get into this space, and not everybody, but a lot of people are just don't have a lot of purpose, right?
yeah,
So I had my in-person event for my students in Seattle in April, end of April. And so 100 of my students traveled out to Seattle, and I told this story of meeting one of them actually at a different event in Florida the month before, and she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, I want to tell you how you saved my life." And I'm like, what the heck? How, what,
you're
like,
like,
that doesn't
that's
happen.
big. That's
Yeah, that's big. It doesn't happen often. And so I'm like, what the heck? But she told me basically, she just felt she had to kind of retire early. And, um, she had no purpose. And so she fell more into like this, just feeling like, what the heck am I even doing without my
yeah.
job? And so there was no purpose, even though she had grandkids, she had kids, like there was something missing. And so getting into the UGC space gave her that purpose. Which is so beautiful. It's
Yeah,
like how amazing is that? That's what I love about content creation. And I think people from the outside don't really get it. They see like influencers, they see people posting, and they're like, "Ah, whatever." They just consume it, but you just don't really see how becoming a content creator and kind of owning that can really create massive purpose and joy, which is kind of the whole point. So
I
it's been
love
fun to see.
I love that. I like, what a awesome mission to be able to create joy and just help people find like the thing that really makes them light up and spark, and something that is theirs and like they can own, you know? So on that same kind of path, talk like what is exciting about the future of your business? What are you looking forward to next? Like, where is this going for you?
Yeah, well, kind of double sided is I am doing more deals with my mom. So
Okay.
we try to like it works for us to be like a team. So
Okay.
like for instance, we're doing like this I mentioned this at the event that you were at, but we're working with a
Yes, the
cat litter
cat
company.
story. I loved it.
Yeah, everyone was learning about cat litter in Park City, but yeah, we're doing like UGC deals with this cat litter company. My mom's the only one in the videos. I kind of do the negotiating, the editing, and all this stuff. And it's just been really fun. So I want to do more deals like that. My wife's also doing UGC, so we're doing some deals together. So on the UGC front, it's like there's in like local businesses. I'm trying to get a free hot tub right now. So there's just so much things. It's super exciting and fun. On like the education side of it, I just launched. This is why I'm wearing this hat like every day. But the Next Chapter Creator Club. So it's like a monthly membership for my students who want more in-person connection. So I've realized like almost 4 years into UGC, the last several years of, especially at the beginning, it was very lonely and isolating. Um,
Yeah.
nobody gets it, right? It's like you can explain
No.
it. I believe my brothers now get what I do kind of, but it's still, you never know. They just kind of nod their heads. So, yeah, it can be very isolating, very lonely, filming at your house, wherever you are. Nobody gets it. So, yeah, I launched this new club for people who want to get together in person. I've got city chapters all over the globe. I do meetups whenever I'm traveling. The last one this last weekend was in Orange County. And it's just been so fun. So I do monthly group coaching calls in there too. It's just, I'm like very on fire about it and I'm super excited and just seeing people who would have never met otherwise and become friends otherwise, see them collaborating, getting together and keeping each other accountable. It's just been super, super.
I love that. No, that's so fun. So, you mentioned this hot tub that you're trying to get. I think it was maybe also you, like you're going to do a big backyard remodel and trying to like looking to get into some free stuff. So, one of my favorite questions to ask people is, I mean, we all work to make money, right? And we work to make money to enjoy our money as well, right? I think a lot of people think, well, financial planner like Abby is just going to tell me to save my money and never have fun with it. And I want to put out like, no, like money is about having fun and enjoying it, right? You need to save for the future, but also important to enjoy your life now. So one of my favorite questions to ask is like, what is something that UGC or your business has been able to like monetarily let you buy physically that like maybe you never thought you would be able to, previously?
Yeah, I mean, we bought our first house this like a year ago, so that was exciting.
That's awesome.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so that's been great. And obviously, having both doing UGC deals and my education side of my business, it's
Yeah.
provided so much opportunity and beyond, purpose and being completely obsessed with my business as a whole. Yeah, of course. Like it's provided so much for me and my family and just that freedom too. And beyond monetary, it's like the freedom of just being present when I need to be present with my family. That is, I could
Hands
cry talking
down.
about it. Like it's the biggest thing, It's the reason why I started UGC in the first place. It's like I want to hang out with my kids. I want to see them grow, and I don't want to, I don't know, like be tied to my desk all the time, which I
Yeah.
was with my 9 to 5. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. But that to me, like, oh my gosh, the biggest thing in the world is like being with my family, going on trips with my family, being present and not seeing all the hours that get sucked away from me that
Totally.
takes me away from them. So that's honestly the biggest thing beyond the house and all the random stuff you get. It's the biggest thing.
No, I love that. I being a new business owner, that's something I've really had to, especially now that it's summertime, remind myself, right? I'm my own boss now and I get to have the flexibility to spend time with my boys, take an hour long to play a game in the middle of the day because I can set my schedule and I can do that.
That's
So
awesome.
let's transition a little bit into like learning more about your business and like running your business. What are some things that you've learned throughout this business or some systems or practices you put in place that you're like, man, I wish I would have known this before. If I did X, it would have really made things a lot easier kind of all along the way. What are some kind of tips that you might be willing to share?
Yeah, so for me personally, I'm not super organized. So that was a big thing for me is like figuring out, especially while I was working my 9 to 5 that because I got a new 9 to 5 a few months into UGC that was paying me little bit more, and I had to really stay organized with that
Yeah.
and stay organized with my business and scale it to 6 figures so I could leave it. So for that 14 months, I was like it was just, like, crazy.
I'm
And I
sure. I
kinda
don't know how
just
people do it. Like that's what I'm
yeah.
always impressed.
Yeah, it was a lot, and I think it's, like, one of those things, probably like parenthood too, it's like in the moment, it's, like, a lot, but you just do it because you have no other option, and so, like,
Right.
when I look back now, because I'll be out, like, in the middle of the day hanging out with my family, I'm like, "Holy crap, I used to literally dream about this," but how did I even do that for 14 months? And, like,
Yeah.
raise children, right? So, I actually can't believe that I did it either, but it's one of those things that you do. So I had to really, really stay organized. And then I think once I got to like a certain point in my business, also understood that like I don't like being the organization also doesn't translate well with the finance stuff. And so I'm like, I need somebody. I can't be doing TurboTax. I need a bookkeeper. I need somebody who's tracking this stuff. And so I decided to, reinvest in myself and my business by hiring a bookkeeping service. We got a CPA and just like having those conversations and outsourcing
Yeah.
was really big for me because I felt like it was this burden on me to be organized otherwise that I think it like held me back a little bit from like in my business to not um I guess be in the weeds of my finances in that way and keeping track of everything. So once I gave that to someone else while still understanding what I was doing in my business financially,
Yeah.
it was a really big like burden off my shoulders and it allowed me more mental space and capacity to focus on what was going to make me more money in my business, which is UGC deals and education. So
Yeah.
that's been a huge thing for me.
Tell me more about you mentioned like this big burden that I was able to offload to a bookkeeper. I hear from a lot of creators that are just like, I would never give over my books because I need to know what's going on, or how could I ever find someone to trust? Like, how do I make for sure I'm not getting stolen from? Talked about like how did you get over like those mental emotional hurdles, and what did you do to like, and how do you make for sure that you do stay on top of like knowing the numbers at a high level? Because I think as a business owner, right, you do need to know where you're at. Are you being profitable? Are you not? Like there is a fair amount that you still do need to know, even though you've outsourced it.
For sure. So I always, do my due diligence with any company that I'm going to hire. So I had heard good things about this company called Collective. And yeah, I kind of just like reached out to them and saw what they were doing, got on a call, vetted them. And the thing that actually is great for me and kind of kiboshes what you said for some of the fears people have is, I can actually see it better. I can see what I'm doing better with their help, right? So I can
Okay.
they it's like
I like that.
all I'm doing is like uploading my statements every single month and they're breaking it down like, "Hey, this is what your costs are. This is they categorize it." So I can actually see it better than if I were to try to do it. And it saves me so much time and so much headache. And so for me, it was like a no-brainer. Once I
Okay.
hired them, I was like, good Lord, why did I not do this earlier?
Yeah.
It was just really, really helpful. And I think everybody gets to maybe that certain point. And it took me a while to do this. Like it took me a while. I think it was like
You feel
well
like
out
too long? Like you wish you would have done it sooner?
for sure. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I think that's been Actually, I'm not a perfectionist in my business, so, like, if I wanna do something, I just do it. However, when it comes to, like, expenses and hiring people, now I've gotten a lot better, but it did scare me a little bit because I'm like, "Gosh, that's, like, a few $100 every single month. Oh, what could we
Yeah.
do with that?" So, it was this mental roadblock I had that I had to get over, but once I did, I was like, "Oh, geez, what else can I outsource, that's gonna make my life easier?" And, it really has proven to be fantastic.
Okay.
We have also, like, this year, invested in a business coach. So I'm in a mastermind. I've
Yeah.
also, just like I have so many friends in this space too that it's helped me, chat back and forth and get ideas and everything, make sure I'm doing everything good. And yeah, no, it's been good, but it's really just like a learning experience. Like this
For
event, right?
sure.
My first ever event.
Yeah.
Never done anything like that. Literally could not before this throw a birthday party. I'm not kidding. Like
No way. Really? Like, you're not an event person then?
oh my gosh. No, not even like a dinner. Like my wife does all that stuff. I'm like, what if no
See,
one comes? Like it's just terrible. Yeah.
create like, we can do amazing things. I love this story. I love it.
Yeah, I no, seriously, the worst event person ever. And so but it was amazing. So I pulled it off and it was great. I mean, it was literally like everything I prayed for and more and is going to be the first of many. And I figured it out like with very little help from the outside. I figured it out just little by
Good
little
job.
and yeah, it was great.
I love that. I love that. I was going to ask you about kind of one of the best investments you've made in your business. You mentioned bookkeeping. I'm going to invest in myself and I'm going to, hire the CPA and this bookkeeper. Now you kind of mentioned this business coach. So that might be what you say, but would you add anything else of like other things you feel like you've invested in either yourself or in your business that you're like, that really, I think moved the needle for me there?
Yeah, I would for sure say like being part of this mastermind I'm in, which is like 25 or 30 women at a specific like revenue. Um with somebody who's like I've been following for like a decade. So it's just there's something about getting in the same physical space with people doing really big things. And
Yeah.
so even if like I mean the business coach that runs the mastermind is amazing. I've learned so much from her obviously, but being just like shoulder to shoulder going out to dinner when we do our in-person events with this mastermind, it's like these tiny little things that people say are these golden nuggets that make so much of a difference. And I would say the same thing like for a lot of my students who are getting together in person, and like even like coming out to the event I hosted, it's like so many things you could take away from other people by just investing, whether it's high ticket, low ticket, whatever. It just is it's really, really helpful, and that's been a really big game changer in my business is, like, investing in getting other people's help, coaching
Yeah.
and everything, so it's been good.
Well, there's something about I don't know what it is, right? There's some mental space where it's hard to ask for help or it's hard to want to spend the money, right? But I feel like I hear time and time again whenever I decided to spend the money or I did invest in that thing, and maybe it's about like the proximity to other people like doing big things that it really does like work out. So like why do we have to keep telling ourselves that? But I feel like we all always are telling ourselves that, right?
Yeah, and I think it also is a lot of us are kind of maybe jaded or had bad experiences with
Yeah.
asking for help or, buy like, oh my God, I bought so many courses over the last decade that or total waste of time, right? So I think that a lot of people have that experience. And so it's easy to like write people off or, just have this like fear of that I'm gonna spend this amount of money, whether it's $100, whether it's $1,000 or more. It's like, am I gonna make my money back? That's a
Yeah.
real thing, especially when people's money is already tight, right? So, I think that also is a factor, but I also know that, doing your due diligence and like, making sure it's a good person, but just going with your gut too on things, even when it comes to UGC deals, like if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And I think I just seen that across the board, but going with your
Yeah.
gut, I think is always good.
Yeah, so good. So, talk to me a little bit about how you found this mastermind or this coach. Like, how do people go about finding a group that feels right to them? Because I think that's something, right? A big time investment, maybe even money investment. So, how did you go about finding that group?
Yeah, so for this one in particular, her name's Amy Porterfield. She's pretty big in like the online
Yeah.
space. She had a
Okay.
podcast for years. So I actually used to listen to her podcast when I was driving like Uber and Lyft, when I was freelancing and stuff,
You've done
which
it all. I love
I
it.
really have. My family's always asked me to write down a list of all my jobs because I've had so many. And but I was listening to her for literally years on her podcast before I ever did anything in the online space. And yeah, she like kind of switched gears and is doing like these masterminds. And yeah, I just saw an email one day and I'm like, oh wow, that'd be cool. I've been like wanting to do a mastermind.
Yeah.
Um and just kind of be in the same room with people that kind of get it. And it just kind of happened to work out and I applied and got in and yeah, I mean it's a massive
Okay, cool.
investment, but it's been really, really, really good.
So worth it. No, that's cool. It's someone you'd been following for a while, and someone you kind of knew and trusted and liked and just kind of knew it was the right thing because you'd been consuming her content for so
Yeah,
long. Okay.
yeah.
No, I love that. I love that. Kind of to wrap things up, I'd love to just kind of hear one maybe mistake you made early on in your business that you'd like to tell others to kind of avoid. Maybe don't make this mistake.
Oh man. Um I would say I didn't quite make this mistake, but maybe I would have quit my job sooner. I don't know. I think that a lot of people, I see the mistakes that other people are making because I've, been teaching for a little bit, is just the having that disbelief, like that limiting belief of thinking there's not enough space for them. And so for me, uh when I was doing like UGC part-time, like on the side, and I was just see I saw so many people quit their job. Like I would be following people and they're like, guess what? I just quit my job because of UGC. And I'm like, oh my gosh, will this ever happen to me? And I mean, 14 months isn't that long, but when you're in the weeds, it feels like so long when you
Yeah,
see other
yeah,
people doing it.
for sure.
And I would see that and I was like, dang, this like I was happy for them. But I also used it as like this fuel to be like, "Oh my gosh, okay, if this person and this person over there, they're quitting their jobs because of UGC and landing all these deals, there's literally no reason why I can't do it." So that's the thing that I saw people come and go from UGC, like, oh my gosh, people would drop like flies. They just would drop off the planet, right? Like nowhere to be seen. Posting every day and then nowhere to be seen. And then it turns out, oh, it got hard and they quit. For me, I'm like, I could do this because I'm literally just not going to quit. And I just got to use all these people's success stories as motivation, knowing I can do it because I'm just as smart and just as capable. So it doesn't quite answer your question, but I see this mistake so many times. And people don't recognize it as a mistake because they just see all these people doing it and then they compare themselves in this
Yeah.
negative way where it's like I like that quote that says comparison is the thief of all joy. It's so true unless you flip it on its head and you're like, holy crap, I'm so happy for that person. And it's more living proof that I can do the exact same thing. And so that's what I try to
No.
tell my students is like if you think there's not enough space for you, if you think it's oversaturated, just literally look all around you. There's literally proof everywhere you look. Even walking down whatever city you live in, go look at all these businesses. All of them need to be on social media. They're probably drowning in so many things, and your email or your phone call would be an answer to their prayers to say, oh my gosh, I need somebody to make some content for me, right? So I think like it just is the abundance mindset is a huge thing to lean into, especially when you're starting UGC and knowing that you can do it, is a big like get off of that bus and like go into the abundance mindset because that's a mistake I see people make like time and time again.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that you said kind of flip that switch, see everyone around, this abundance mindset, like keep going, right? Don't give up because everyone needs to see your unique story and your unique personality. That's something I feel like I'm hearing more and more of, just like let us be our unique beings. We all don't need to fit this mold anymore. And I love that I'm feeling that more that I'm just seeing online is let people be themselves, and there's space for all of us. And it like just feels so empowering and so positive. So
It is, and I think, like, how cool is it that we don't have to start a new career where we have to reinvent ourselves? Like, that's what I love
yeah.
about teaching this crowd is they're not trying to be anybody else. They wanna be themselves that they've been for the last past decades, and it's just like you just I just like how UGC you can kinda weave into your life, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you have pets, do some pet UGC, get some free dog food or cat litter or whatever, and weave it into your life. I have a lot of people who, like, renovate their homes or, like, flip homes. I'm like, "Holy crap, you could be doing so many UGC deals while also doing this, while, like, making money if you're flipping homes." It's like a double dipping. It's can be weaved so well into your life, and you don't have to switch your personality, and in fact, the more you lean into your personality, the better it'll go for you.
Yeah, yeah. We all don't wanna be watching these cookie cutter,
No.
TikTok videos of a million Abbies. Like, no one wants to see a million Abbies, right? But everyone wants to see, though, Megan and Abby and, all the different personalities that are out there. So, I love that. If people wanna get a hold of you or contact you, like, where can people find you?
So I'm on TikTok and Instagram. I'm on all the places, I think, but mainly TikTok at Megan_UGC. If you have questions, shoot me a DM over on Instagram because it's easier. But yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions, and I know that UGC in general and just like content creation can be super intimidating for a lot of people, and oftentimes it's just like one tiny little thing that's holding people back from starting. So if you ever want a little pep talk, I'm there on Instagram.
I love it. We all need our pep talks from time to time. Thank you, Megan. This was so helpful. Really appreciated it today.
Thank you for having me. It's been super fun.
Thanks for watching. If you're a creator trying to figure out the money side of your business, make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments what topic you want me to cover next. Catch you in the next one.